The birth of a river civilization. Close your eyes and imagine a quiet landscape thousands of years ago. The air is still, and the gentle sound of flowing water echoes across vast plains. This is the land of the Indus River, a mighty waterway that gave life to one of the world's earliest civilizations. Around 2600 BCE, in what is now modern-day Pakistan and northwest India, people began to settle near the banks of the Indus. The river carried rich silt from the mountains, leaving fertile soil in its wake. This soil became the foundation for farming, and farming became the foundation for cities. Slowly, villages grew into towns, and towns transformed into something far greater. Urban centers unlike anything the world had seen before. These early settlers lived in harmony with the land. They cultivated wheat and barley, herded cattle, and used the river for fishing and transportation. The rhythm of their days was tied to the rise and fall of the river. When the floods came, they brought renewal, and when the waters receded, they left behind the resources needed for life to flourish. As generations passed, the people developed new skills. They learned to shape clay into bricks, each one nearly identical in size and design. With these bricks, they began to build homes, walls, and even entire cities. Order and planning were at the heart of their vision. And from this vision rose one of the most remarkable civilizations of the ancient world. The Indus Valley was not just a place to survive, it was a place to thrive. The steady river provided security, while the fertile land gave abundance. In this environment of stability, human imagination expanded. The seeds of culture, trade, and governance were planted. What makes this civilization so special is not only its age, but its mystery. Unlike Egypt with its grand pyramids, or Mesopotamia with its clay tablets, the Indus people left behind a quieter legacy. Their script remains undeciphered, their rulers unknown, their temples unproven. Yet, even in this silence, their presence echoes. Their streets, their wells, and their artifacts tell a story of human ingenuity, cooperation, and resilience. As night falls in our story, picture the first flickers of firelight across a village by the river. Families gather, sharing meals and stories. The hum of life carries on softly, and above them, the stars reflect in the waters of the Indus. Here, in this calm beginning, we see the dawn of a civilization that would rise to greatness. Life in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro now. Imagine stepping into the heart of the Indus Valley, into two of its greatest cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. These were not simple towns of mud huts and narrow paths. They were carefully planned, vast urban centers, built with precision and foresight. The streets were wide and laid out in perfect grids, as if designed by an unseen architect. Straight lines stretched into the distance, dividing the city into neat blocks. Along these streets, rows of houses stood, each one built from uniform baked bricks. Some were single-story, others rose 2 or even 3 stories high. Flat roofs, shaded courtyards, and stairways spoke of comfort and practicality. Within each home, there were bathing areas, drains, and wells. Yes, thousands of years ago, the people of the Indus Valley had created one of the most advanced sanitation systems in the ancient world. Water flowed in and out of homes through covered drains, ensuring cleanliness and health. To walk through these streets would have been to see a city alive, yet ordered, where daily life flowed smoothly, much like the great river that sustained it. Markets were likely bustling with traders and artisans. Stalls offered beads, pottery, woven cloth, and crafted tools. The people were skilled in working with metals like bronze and copper. They carved ornaments of shell and ivory, and their jewelry sparkled with semi-precious stones, some of which came from faraway lands. In the center of Mohenjo-daro stood the Great Bath, a massive public water tank lined with brick. Scholars believe it may have been used for ritual bathing, a practice tied to cleanliness, purity, and perhaps even community gatherings. Around it, public buildings rose, their walls thick and strong, suggesting that these cities were not only places to live, but places to share, govern, and worship together. Yet, what is striking is what we do not see. Unlike other ancient civilizations, there are no giant temples, no towering palaces, no grand monuments carved to glorify kings. This suggests something extraordinary, that life here may have been more balanced, more communal. Power might not have rested in the hands of one ruler, but instead within councils or groups that valued cooperation. As you picture this world, imagine walking along the smooth stone streets at dusk. The air is filled with the sound of footsteps, quiet chatter, and the soft crackle of fire in nearby hearths. Families gather for evening meals, children play near the courtyards, and traders secure their goods for tomorrow's market. The city is alive but calm, safe but filled with mystery. These are not just cities. They were marvels of human planning, whispers of a civilization both practical and visionary. In their silent bricks and empty streets today, we can still feel the rhythm of life that once pulsed through Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Art, trade, and daily living as the cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro grew, so too did the richness of daily life. The people of the Indus Valley were not only builders and farmers, but also artists, traders, and dreamers. Their days were filled with work and craft, but also with beauty and imagination. In the workshops of the cities, skilled artisans shaped clay into delicate pottery. Many vessels were decorated with simple, elegant designs, lines, circles, and animal figures. Tiny seals, carved from steatite stone, were etched with intricate symbols and pictures of animals. Elephants, bulls, and the mysterious unicorn, a creature found only in their artwork. These seals may have been used to mark goods for trade, or perhaps to represent families, businesses, or even spiritual beliefs. Jewelry was another art they mastered. Bracelets of bronze, necklaces of beads, and earrings of gold or silver added color and elegance to daily attire. Women and men alike adorned themselves, showing that beauty and craftsmanship were valued across society. The materials they used, such as lapis lazuli from Afghanistan or carnelian for Gujarat, show that trade networks stretched far beyond the Indus Valley itself. Indeed, trade was the lifeblood of this civilization. Farmers supplied grain from the fertile plains, while herders brought livestock from the countryside. Traders carried goods along river routes and overland paths, connecting with distant cultures. Some scholars believe the Indus people may have even traded with Mesopotamia hundreds of miles away. Ships may have sailed down the Indus River into the Arabian Sea, carrying goods to far-off lands. But life was not only about commerce and art. It was about community and routine. The people ate bread made from wheat and barley, fruits like dates and melons, and likely drank milk from domesticated cattle. They kept goats and sheep and fished in the river. Daily life would have been steady, familiar, and comforting, a rhythm of work and rest guided by the seasons. Children played with small clay toys, tiny carts with wheels, little animals, and simple figurines. Music may have filled the air from drums or flutes, while festivals marked important times of year. Though much of their culture remains hidden, we can still glimpse their humanity in these simple details. A child laughing as a toy cart rolls along, a trader bargaining in a busy marketplace, an artisan proudly polishing a finished bead. As you picture this world, imagine a warm evening in Mohenjo-daro. The market is closing, traders pack away their goods, and families sit outside their homes, enjoying the cooler night air. The smell of food drifts softly through the streets, mingling with the sound of laughter and conversation. Somewhere in the distance, the gentle rush of the river reminds everyone of the life it gives. Here, in the art they made and the lives they lived, the Indus Valley people left behind more than ruins. They left echoes of joy, creativity, and connection. Mysteries of their decline. Every great civilization has its peak and its decline. For the Indus Valley, the reasons behind its fall remain one of history's most enduring puzzles. Unlike empires brought down by conquest or sudden disaster, the Indus people seemed to fade slowly, their vibrant cities becoming empty shells of what they once were. Around 1900 BCE, signs of change began to appear. The once carefully planned cities started to show neglect. Streets filled with debris. The precise uniformity of bricks, once a mark of order, gave way to irregular construction. The sophisticated drainage systems, once the pride of Mohenjo-daro, fell into disrepair. It was as if the rhythm of life had begun to unravel. Scholars have proposed many theories for this decline. Some point to climate change, a gradual shift in weather patterns that dried up the rivers and reduced the floods that had nourished the fields. Without water, crops would have failed, leading to food shortages and migration. Others suggest that tectonic activity or earthquakes may have altered the course of the mighty Indus River, leaving once fertile lands barren. If the river changed its path, the lifeline of the civilization would have shifted beyond reach. There are also theories of invasion or conflict. Some believe nomadic groups, possibly Indo-Aryans, entered the region, bringing with them new customs and ways of life. Yet, there is little evidence of large-scale war or destruction. The cities do not bear the scars of fire or conquest, only the quiet marks of abandonment. Perhaps the most haunting possibility is that it was not one cause, but many, a slow combination of environmental stress, shifting trade routes, and gradual migration that drained the cities of their strength. Families may have left in search of better land, leaving behind once proud streets to crumble under the weight of time. Today, as we walk among the ruins, the silence is striking. Mohenjo-daro's wide streets stand empty, its wells dry, its great bath cracked and still. Harappa, once a center of trade and life, now lies in fragments. The voices of the people who live there are gone, their script unreadable, their rulers unknown. And yet, even in this mystery, there is peace. The decline of the Indus Valley was not sudden or violent, but gentle, like the dimming of a candle. A slow retreat of life, leaving behind only whispers for us to uncover. As night deepens in our story, imagine standing among the ruins, the moonlight casting long shadows across broken walls. The air is still, and the only sound is the wind, moving softly through what was once a bustling city. It is a haunting beauty, a reminder that all civilizations, no matter how advanced, are fragile in the hands of time. The legacy of the Indus Valley, though the Indus Valley Civilization declined more than 4,000 years ago, its story did not end in silence. Its people, its ideas, and its way of life left ripples that still touch us today. The cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro stand as timeless reminders of human ingenuity. Their carefully planned streets, drainage systems, and wells show that urban design is not new. It is ancient, rooted in the vision of a people who valued order, hygiene, and community. Even today, archaeologists marvel at their achievements, wondering how such advanced planning could exist in such an early age. The undeciphered script of the Indus still invites curiosity. Tiny symbols etched on its seals and pottery remain locked in mystery. Each mark whispers a story we cannot yet read, leaving the civilization wrapped in intrigue. Perhaps one day, with new discoveries, their words will be understood, giving voice once more to a people who have remained silent for millennia. Culturally, echoes of the Indus way of life may have flowed into later civilizations of the Indian subcontinent. Ideas of ritual bathing, reverence for certain animals, and early agricultural practices may have roots stretching back to this ancient land. The seeds of South Asian culture may, in part, have been sown in the fields of the Indus. The legacy of the Indus Valley is not only in what it built, but in what it teaches us. It reminds us that human progress is fragile, and that civilizations rise and fall not only by the strength of their armies, but by the balance they strike with nature. The rivers that gave life can also shift and withdraw. The land that sustained generations can grow barren. Change is constant, and survival requires adaptation. Yet, there is beauty in this fragility. As we reflect on their story, we see not just ruins, but resilience. The Indus people lived in harmony with their river, created cities of elegance and function, and built a civilization that lasted for centuries. That in itself is a triumph, a chapter in humanity's long and winding tale. So tonight, as our journey through their world draws to a close, imagine the Indus River once more. Its waters shimmer under the starlight, flowing quietly as they did thousands of years ago. Along its banks, the laughter of children, the hum of markets, and the rhythm of daily life once filled the air. Now only silence remains, but within that silence is a story of greatness, mystery, and peace. And as you drift deeper into rest, let the calm of that ancient river carry you, just as it once carried a civilization long ago. Thank you for joining me on this gentle journey through the story of the Indus Valley Civilization. As we've seen, even the oldest ruins carry whispers of life, community, and wonder. If you enjoyed this calm exploration, I invite you to subscribe to the channel for more bedtime history stories. Don't forget to like the video if it helped you relax, and share it with others who might also enjoy drifting into sleep with the past. Your support helps keep these peaceful journeys alive, bringing history's quiet echoes to more listeners around the world. Until next time, rest well, dream deeply, and let history's calm voices guide you into a peaceful night.